Hey, my name is Andre Jajava, and I'm a poser. I'm a larper, okay? Before making this video, I haven't watched a My Little Pony episode, but despite of this, I still say that I love My Little Pony. I have fucking Pinkie Pie on the back of my phone case, and I like to take online quizzes and participate in its Reddit community. But today, that changes. With me, I have a notebook. And what I'm going to write in this notebook is notes. Notes on My Little Pony. My thoughts on the episodes, my thoughts on the characters, and we're going to see if I become a brony, or if I'm just going to stay a phony.
Swag.
Now, before I give you my thoughts on the first episode, you have to get caught up on the MLP lore. So let me break it down for you.
So basically, long ago, before the current era of Equestria, there were two sisters who ruled the land. Princess Celestia, who raised the sun, and Princess Luna, who routed the moon. However, Luna grew bitter because everyone was outside during the sun periods and not the night periods. And consumed by this resentment, she transformed into the wicked nightmare moon.
Nothing but bangers.
And she refused to lower the moon and plunged the land into eternal darkness. But Celestia used the most powerful magic known to ponies, the elements of harmony, and she banished Nightmare Moon to the moon forever.
Ow! What did you do that for?
Rarity, what are you...
So first off, I like that episode 1 and 2 are kind of like combined into like one overarching story, like both of them kind of ping pong right off of each other. Just so you know that this isn't some normal fucking kid show that we're discussing about, right? This has continuity. This has lore, alright? It builds off of each other. And another thing is that episode 1 and 2 is genuinely funny. Episode 2 is my second favorite out of all of like the episodes I watched so far, which is 10. And but I'm not even like joking when I say like I counted a solid 4.5 times that it genuinely made me laugh. I'm like so confident in My Little Pony's humor that I can like I'll show you clips that like made me laugh. I understand that it's like 20% less funnier when you show another person something that you find funny, but bro, like take a look at this one. Like the dismay on her face, that shit tickles me, bro. Episode 1 and 2 does a really good job of establishing basically the gist of every single character, but not in a way of like, this is all they do. It's a good launching off point to actually develop their personality in the following episodes. And it's nice. It's humorous. There's action scenes, which I didn't expect. There's scenes that made me laugh, which I didn't expect. Every single character is very colorful. It has their own different abilities and their own different personalities. But it's not My Little Pony without the friendship. And every episode kind of follows a formula of Twilight Sparkle learning a lesson about friendship at the conclusion of the episode based on whatever the conflict was going on. But being formulaic is not a bad thing. I think it's actually pretty cool. It gives you something to expect out of every single episode. It's not like it's dumb. It's not like you can exactly predict what's going on in every single episode, right? Because the conflict is still completely different. Just know that you're going to learn something by the end of it. But that does kind of segue into my favorite episode, because my favorite episode is my favorite episode because it has my favorite lesson about friendship in it, obviously. And it's episode 5. It's episode 5.
Okay, it's Sean Paul.
But how am I supposed to tell you my thoughts on episode 5 if you don't even know what happens in episode 5? The episode starts with everyone kind of being mean to Pinkie Pie and actively trying to avoid her. Twilight Sparkle is thankful that Pinkie Pie leaves her alone, and Rainbow Dash is actively flying away, trying not to interact with her, which does reveal Pinkie Pie's secret ability of teleportation. Which, a little side note here, this might sound like the most bitch-made shit ever, but honestly, seeing Pinkie Pie getting ignored like that was super triggering, man. I had to stop watching My Little Pony and do something else for a change. Real shit, dude. Anyways, the reason why Pinkie Pie was hogging down Rainbow Dash was to help prank Spike. Which, hold on, sorry, another side note. You need to see this clip. If I were to tell you, and then, wouldn't it be crazy if you not only didn't put the cloud in between where right and left was, but you put it past where the original was, even though I said a little to the left? And this pony wants to fucking yell.
Pinkie Pie!
Nigga, you're not fucking listening. You're not doing your job right. Anyways, the prank is a success, and they start to hang out because Pinkie Pie is, quote,
Not as annoying as I thought.
they go on a series of pranks on the remaining main six. I like how they choose not to prank Fluttershy, though, because she'll take it personally. It's very considerate and totes adorbs. The next day, Pinkie Pie goes straight to Rainbow Dash's house to hang out again, which is a little clingy, but so freaking sweet. But then we meet Gilda, the Griffin, Rainbow Dash's friend. Rainbow Dash tells Pinkie Pie they'll catch up later. Pinkie Pie catches up later. But Gilda makes an effort not to include Pinkie Pie, and is overtly rude to her, saying things like she's dorking up the sky, Stinky Pie. Pinkie goes to tell a trusted adult. And Twilight says that Pinkie Pie sounds jealous that Rainbow Dash is hanging out with someone else. And Pinkie Pie needs to improve her attitude. She takes it to heart. Maybe I am being jealous. We then observe Gilda doing some rude things, like pranking Granny Smith and yelling at Fluttershy. Pinkie gets an idea. She'll throw a party for Gilda. Fluttershy tries to talk to Pinkie Pie about Gilda, but Pinkie kind of blows her off. We see a series of epic pranks get unleashed on Gilda. Gilda gets very angry because of this, saying that the prank sucked, because she thinks that she's being targeted by Pinkie Pie. She tells Rainbow Dash, let's blow this lame popsicle stand, but Rainbow Dash is actually the one who set up all the pranks. And Gilda just called the pranks lame. Gilda calls Rainbow Dash a flip-flop for some reason, and they exchange some really cool dialogue in the lesson structure.
Out with party poopers, that's your business. I'd rather hang out with you.
What I like about this episode is that Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash's friendship was not automatic. They kind of find out how to enjoy each other's time and what they like in the other person, which is cool. The bond that you find at the end of the episode is from genuine growth and understanding. What I also like about the episode is that it doesn't really pull any punches, right? Pinkie Pie genuinely kind of gets isolated and she feels bad about it. She genuinely does feel bad and she shows how she feels bad and a little bit antsy. And that's cool, you know? It makes the episode so much more genuine and all aspects of this episode feel very, very natural. Even though that we're talking about ponies, it's cool, you know? And what I mean by natural writing is that the ponies genuinely have, like, personalities. You can imagine how any of the main six would like kind of interact or do in a situation that's even outside of the show. And when they're interacting with each other, they're always interacting kind of like within personality, within character. None of their actions betray their character, even when there is conflict in the story, because, you know, having a personality, sometimes there's going to be conflict, and that's cool. It's genuine. And I understand how a lot of people can like watch the show and say like, oh, that pony, literally me. You know, this is kind of like how I would go in this situation. This is something that I've felt before. And I feel super strong. You understand how the ponies feel. You feel for these ponies, dude. It's good writing, and it makes me very excited for me to see how all of the main six kind of works with each other and becomes friends throughout the course of the several seasons that My Little Pony has. Touching on the literally me part, I want to give a little bit of a spotlight to Pinkie Pie, and kind of tell you why I like that character so much.
Nothing but bangers.
Next part.
Number one, Pinkie Pie represents the aspect of harmony, which, I mean, the element of harmony, she represents laughter, and I love to laugh. I'm literally such a goofball, silly boy, silly filly. Number two, I feel like a lot of the lessons that revolve around Pinkie Pie and her character are really, really important, not for kids, but just in general. They're not really represented often in children's media. There's a lot of like kid characters that are like very energetic. They make other people laugh, and there's a lot of like children's characters that are seen as annoying occasionally. Like Pinkie Pie annoys other characters, and honestly, like in real life, it can. The feeling when you realize that you annoyed someone is the worst thing in the world. You feel like you just committed such a grave sin against them. Feels like you have like no control over yourself and stuff like that. But Pinkie Pie like kind of teaches a great lesson that even though like sometimes she annoys the other main six, her friends and stuff like that, it's not the end of the world. They still love her for who she is, and they still enjoy her company, enjoy her presence, and that's a really good lesson because a lot of kids are annoying sometimes, you know what I mean? We shouldn't hate them for that. And there's a lot of kids, especially me, that eventually you grow up and you gain consciousness and you realize that sometimes you annoy the other people around you, and it's like do I just die now? Like, do I just give up on life now that I know that everyone hates me? Because you think that everyone hates you, but they don't. Because you're just like Pinkie Pie, actually. Number 3, she throws parties, which is like such a fucking lot. I'm cursing a lot, but it's such a lost art, dude. In the modern day, more people should throw more parties and be like Pinkie Pie. I throw parties. I threw a couple parties, and when I was in university, I called them FootCon. That's a long story. And I threw a party, like a joint birthday party. And every single time I threw a party, it has been so fun. And I just wish that other people would do it. A big hangout is cool, right? But it's like literally invite everyone that you know and you're cool with into this thing. It's awesome. I understand why people don't do it, because when I ride through my parties, there's always like 10 people who cancel last second who just don't want to fucking go. But let me tell you this, bro. Let me tell you this. If 5 people show up to your party, bro, like Pinkie Pie said it herself, bro. Even though like everyone was like saying like, oh, I don't want to go to your party, she still invited people. Even though it was like maybe only 4 people from the main 6 are gonna come to my fucking party, she still said yes, yes sir, yes sir.
Hi, girls. Oh.
A quick little side note. I listened to Discord by The Living Tombstone. I want to say probably more than like 4 or 5 years ago when I was like 14 years old. And after I got introduced to Discord the character and I re-listened to that song, nigga, that song is so fucking active, bro. And Discord is the coolest character in My Little Pony. It's for me, it's Discord.
Nothing but bangers.
I'm not a fan of puppeteers. Something terrible is going down through the entire town, freaking out.
Oh, yeah.
All it brings. I can't sit idly, no, I can't move at all. I curse the name, the one behind it all. Discord.
Nightmare Moon and Rainbow Dash. I'll explain the Nightmare Moon one later, but dude, like the fact that he makes everything like disordered and like chaotic, surrealism is like one of my favorite like literary like art genres ever. So seeing just how everything gets funky, it's so cool. The fucking upside down umbrella, the fucking chocolate chip rain.
Chocolate rain. Some stay dry and others feel the pain. Chocolate rain. A baby born will die before.
The random patches of everything. It's oh my god, he's so fucking tough, bro. He's so tough. It's insane. The reason why I like Princess Luna so much is because there's a trope of a very, very powerful, like revered, scary character, but it's actually they're super socially awkward and like, silly. And usually every single time that happens, it falls into like a super bad, like Quirk Chungus type character, you know what I mean? But for Princess Luna, they do it in like an actually cool, funny way that makes sense of like she was like locked away on the moon, like locked away for fucking millions of years or whatever. So when she gets back, she's obviously awkward, and her only human interaction was like, at a very unusual like social circumstance setting. So yeah, and her character design is really cool. I think Princess Celestia, I kind of don't like her character design. It's not sun-ish enough for me. It's just like big magical horse creature. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot more interesting things you can do with a sun horse, but Princess Luna has it down pretty well. So yeah. A little revealing on the production side of things. Basically, in the middle of editing this video, my PC completely died. Like, it blue screened multiple times, and I thought that my PC just fucking was obliterated. It turned out there was an issue with the SSD card, and they were able to copy it completely from the old SSD card, which wasn't working to the new one. Which, thank fucking God, I literally told them, like, I had the equivalent of the My Little Pony Mona Lisa on this fucking computer. I need to save it, and it was a really, really big deal to me, because this was, like, the first time I made a long-form edited video, and I really, like, told myself that I need to be able to, like, dedicate time to a project for a long period of time, so, like, prove to myself that I can fucking do it. And I did it, bro. Through trials and tribulation, I did it. So I'm super pleased, and yeah, So am I gonna finish My Little Pony, or am I gonna stay a larper for life? Honestly, I really enjoyed the series and I really enjoyed its community. It keeps me anticipating for more things like in the future, especially the characters. And I've heard there's like some dark themes and there's some like as you learn more about the characters, it gets some more the world gets more round and shit. One character I'm excited about is Tree Hugger. I heard that Discord and Fluttershy kind of form like a relationship. I've been seeing that. So I'm excited to see that, but I'm also excited to see Tree Hugger and Fluttershy. That seems pretty cool. There's another character like Starlight Glimmer, and I saw like her beam the shit out of Discord and just erase him. from fucking reality. There's this cult town. You learn the story of how Applejack gets her hat and meeting her parents, her grandparents, or some shit like that. There's just so much. There's so much to know about like Equestria, Ponyville, the My Little Pony universe, and I'll be damned if I never learn, you know, what's the haps, what's about it. Also want to learn about Maud Pie, Pinkie Pie's whole entire family and her rock farm. Shit, dude, there's so much to look forward to. I would suggest that you watch it. If you made it to the end, like and subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see y'all next time on Andre Jajiva.